Ever seen like a dude who's really pissed and he's just like, what is a pair but is also just one? Pants. If the champion of Ronus can't take out bubbling Beebles, a bunch of bubbles, then what hope does Ronus have? Some of those worms, they kind of look like my, so maybe I have seen that before. You know what I mean? What's up, guys? Kyle, Casual Wizard MTG. I'm back again. It's taking forever to get my videos out. I apologize. I'm still in the process of moving. It's taking forever. I'm in like a different Airbnb than last time. I'm here for a couple months. I'm still not in a permanent place yet, so I'm still working on it. But that's my horrible excuse for my slow videos. I'm talking everything in this video about the Amonkhet set. I think that's what everybody's kind of joking around and calling it, the Amonkhet. A god shrine totally looks, these ears here, they totally look like the almond slivers. Artwork, let's talk about artwork first. My number one card, my favorite art is this, Cancel. This card is amazing. The blue like shield with the flame surrounding it. Hands down, it's the best artwork in the set. There was a couple close second and thirds. But you know, they all kind of spike my cholesterol here. The Festering Mummy is a really cool card. It has the purple going on, like a purple lightning thing. Anything with purple and magic really looks really good. Another one would be, there's a Failure to Comply. It's one of those split level cards. I don't need to tell you this shit. You guys know this. Like, I just have to tell myself because I'm old and I have to make it make sense for myself. But anyway, the comply part, which is actually the bottom and sidewards part of the card, that artwork is ridiculous, and it is way too great to be turned sideways and really only like 20% of the card. I mean, Magic makes their artwork way too small in the first place, and then to make it even smaller, it's like got this demonic angel type of thing going on. In the comply part of the card. It's amazing. It got totally cheated. Next, I want to kind of talk about some general notes on the set, some things that I noticed that I have to comment on. There are 269 cards in this deck, and there are only 3 1/1 creatures. Maybe I'm stupid, maybe I haven't paid attention, but I feel like 3 1/1 creatures is very few in such a huge set. I might be an idiot on that, I don't know. But for the first time, I'm noticing there's this card called Lay Claim. And it's the first time that I have been featured on a Magic card. And if you look at the card, you are also featured in the Magic card artwork. It's like our hands are plucking a dragon from the sky. And nothing beats, you know, if I was going to pluck a creature from the battlefield, or the multiverse of Magic, a dragon would be a good option. Has this been done before? Is there other cards that have shown like our Planeswalker hands in, or other body parts in the card? Some of those worms, they kind of look like my, so maybe I have seen that before. You know what I mean? Talk about Minotaurs, and I don't know if Minotaurs are like a thing that are coming back into Magic. You know, I took off like 15 years. I don't remember there being a lot of Minotaurs ever before. Again, I could be an idiot, but this Cursed Minotaur card, it's a 3/2. It's this really skinny looking, like malnourished, emaciated Minotaur, and somehow it's still a 3/2. And what the fuck? Magic the Gathering. This 3/2 Minotaur, he actually is the same power and toughness as the On-Crop Crusher Minotaur, which is also a 3/2, but that guy's fully healthy. He's been eating all his dinner and dessert multiple times a day. And they also have a legendary Minotaur, the Nahab the Worthy, or Nehab the Worthy, which is only a 2/2. He's a legendary Minotaur, and he can't take out the emaciated Minotaur. That is definitely a WTF MTG. There's a couple Minotaurs which are good examples. The Blood Rage Brawler, Emberhorn Minotaur. They're both 4/3. That makes more sense to me. How this emaciated dude is a 3/2 beats the shit out of me. Ketra the True. She's a legendary god. She's a 3/6. Now in this artwork, there's not a very accurate relative size for how big Oketra actually is. However, when you look at the card Renewed Faith, you can see Oketra kind of in the background walking, and you can see the small creatures, mummies, people of the town, whatever. But you can actually see the enormous size of Oketra, and when you consider that, I think she is way bigger than a 3/6. I mean, a 3/6, she deals as much damage as that emaciated Minotaur. And what the fuck? Magic the Gathering. We also have a Vizier of Remedies, which is a 2/1, and I'm kind of curious to how. You know, I mentioned the 3/1/1 creatures in this set, and somehow this Vizier, who just like makes little potions in her little cauldron or whatever she's doing there, she somehow has an attack power of 2. Meanwhile, the Bloodlust Inciter is one of the 1/1s. This dude has a couple weapons and he's like pissed off and yelling into the sky. I don't know about you, but if you've ever seen like a dude who's really pissed and he's just like into the sky and he's got 2 weapons in his hand, I'm gonna run away from that guy a lot more than some woman making like, you know, healing potions, to some healing salve to put on my poison ivy rash. So WTF MTG, what's going on with the Vizier of Remedies? A couple other ones. We have the Glorybringer, which is an awesome card, but I kind of like wondering about this like gold necklace thing that it's wearing. It looks like the dragon kind of was trying to go out a dragon door, and he tries to fly into it, and his body's too big so he can't get fully outside of the door, but his head is too friggin' thick to get back inside, so he's stuck. So like they call 911, the emergency services come over, and like they can't get the dragon in the head, they can't get him to cooperate, they can't get his head out, so they are like, screw it, let's cut the door around the dragon head, and you know, he'll just have to deal with it. We can't get his head out, so you know, he'll get used to it. And what the fuck? Magic the Gathering. So we have, see, I was gonna call out the Supply Caravan card. It's a 3/5 camel, and I was like, I don't know if I buy a camel at 3/5, but there's like 5 or 6 camels within this card, and I'm like, okay, maybe it makes sense when you're considering the conglomerate of camels together. Maybe they're 3/5. Okay, cool, I dig it, I'll buy it. However, then we have the Quarry Hauler, which is a 4/3 camel alone, and maybe it's like a super camel, but judging by the artwork between the Supply Caravan and the Quarry Hauler, they look like pretty comparable in size compared to the humans in the picture. So I don't think that the Quarry Hauler is necessarily a bigger camel. So when you take into account that a single camel could be 4/3 and then 5 or 6 of them is only a 3/5, I definitely call WTF MTG. Then, of course, we have reached the time in the video where we always bring up the bubbling Beebles. No video of mine would be complete without talking about the bubbling fricking Beebles. So here's some notable cards that are in the Amonkhet set that the bubbles that are soap and water can defeat. The true heart duelist. Check it out. I mean, it's double fisting weapons. Again, bubbles. The winged shepherd, 3/3 angel, pretty badass looking. Can fly away from the bubbles, but not really. Bubbles everywhere. The biggest ones, Manglehorn. I'm kind of feeling like a Manglehorn is a major WTF MTG because look at the beast on this card. It's a 2/2. Like, does that make sense? No, it doesn't. It should definitely be it's got to start at a 3/3 minimum. But I mean, look at this card. Do I really have to explain this one? And then finally, the champion of Ronus. This dude's a champion of an entire city or town. The champion of Ronus. Like, if the champion of Ronus can't take out bubbling Beebles, a bunch of bubbles, then what hope does Ronus have of survival? Like, this entire city is going to be wiped out. The champion of the city can't beat a bunch of bubbles. WTF MTG. Every so often, Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast, they provide some insight into some of life's finer lessons, and I'm going to cover a couple of those in this Amonkhet set that I've noticed, and maybe it'll change your life like it changed mine. So if you take a look at the artwork on the card Stir the Sands, it's a unifying card. It has a human, a jackal, and like I guess like a frog thing. I mean, yeah, it's like zombie versions of it, but whatever. So it's like a human, a jackal, this frog thingy. Like, they're all enjoying a peaceful meal together. It's really just bringing everybody together, having peace among each other. Think about that next time Thanksgiving comes around and you start fighting with your relatives about politics or whatever. Don't do it. Just enjoy your food. If a zombie human jackal and a frog thingy can do it, so can you. And then we also have a Scribe of the Mindful, which the quote, I'm talking about the quote here, not the artwork. The quote on the bottom of the card says, "The best answers solve more than one riddle." It's pretty deep. And when I think about some of the best answers that can solve more than one riddle, one thing I can think of is pants. Pants. Because if I asked you this riddle, what is a pair but is also just one? Pants. Or what goes on in the morning, off at night, and down during the day? Pants. I mean, pants can answer two riddles there. That's the best answers, according to Scribe of the Mindful. And then finally, the older you get, the more this will be true. It's another quote on the card. It's like a summary of life and how I feel about the Ret Crop Spearmaster. The quote of the card says, "In the afterlife, I'll have no need of sleep, and until then, I have no time for it." The older I get, the more that is true. You will notice it too. And thanks for watching, guys. Tell me in the comment, let me know if you like the set, some of the artwork. Tell me about the artwork you like. Tell me if you have any WTF MTG discrepancies with any of the artwork or the power and toughness of any of these cards, or anything unique that you've noticed about the artwork or the set, just any kind of notes. Let me know about it, guys. I'd love to hear it. And I think that's about it. So thanks for checking this out. Kyle with Casual Wizard MTG. Stay casual, stay magical.